So I'm on my way back from a lovely New Year's break in Stockholm, and I decide that today is a day I'm going to quit smoking, because I'm on my way back from my holiday and I need to get healthy, right? The flight will be easy. Stockholm, London Stansted, 2 hours, done. So I leave early. Express train, city centre to the airport. Boom. Reverse of the journey I did a few days ago. So I got up to the desk. Excuse me, which terminal does Ryanair fly from? It's not this terminal. Okay, so which terminal is it? It's not this airport. Eh? The one you need is 150 kilometers away. So it's called Stockholm Skavsta Airport, and I'm in Stockholm Arlanda Airport, right? So they're both called Stockholm Airport. So why are they 150 kilometres away from each other? So I'm back on the express train, which isn't cheap, by the way, 25 quid each way. And that gets me back to the centre of Stockholm with 2 minutes to spare. I need to run up 2 flights of stairs and an escalator and then get to the bus terminal where I can get the only bus that's going to get me to the airport on time. Whew! Thank God I made it. Now, the Stockholm wins at Wi-Fi, because when I'm on this bus, I'm looking out the window and I can see fields and trees and mountains and no other cars, not even a proper road that we're on. And I've got full signal Wi-Fi and it's quicker than a broadband I get home. So we arrive at the airport and it's fucking tiny. I can see why there's no terminal on my boarding pass. There's only 6 fucking gates. No queue at security. Things are going a bit too well. So I'm into passport control. Once again, everyone files through dead quick. About 200 of us now waiting to get on this plane. So that's 5 minutes before we're about to fly, and then I'm thinking we're not on this plane yet. They're not going to board 200 people in 5 minutes. I think we might be a little bit late. Ah well, as long as we get home, eh? That's the main thing. Bing bong, you've been delayed. Cheers. It's alright though, it's only 30 minutes. Not a problem, is it? So everyone just stays in their position in the queue, sits on their luggage. It's only half an hour. Of course, half an hour turns into an hour. An hour turns into an hour and a half. And then, woohoo, we board the plane. Then we get treated to another sit down for 2 hours. Struggling with a lack of nicotine. So it started snowing about 6 o'clock, which is when we were supposed to be taking off. So if we'd have took off then, we'd have been fine. But no, we're late because of Ryanair. So now we can't take off. Because we need de-icing. De-icing. Right, okay. So the slowest truck in the world approaches us. One fella driving, and one fella with the big fireman Sam hose. Uh-oh, we've ran out of de-icer. Oh, I'm sorry. Have you not lived here long? It snows every winter. Who knew? If you're going to de-ice a plane, you can't use a litre bottle from Shell. Anyway, several hours late, we managed to taxi to the runway. And once you start moving, you're like, yeah, this is it. This is cushy now. We're going home. Why have we stopped?
Apologies, ladies and gentlemen. We're just checking the runway is safe to take off.
I'm all for safety and I don't want to crash. But surely you'd check the runway before we taxied to the f***ing runway. At this point, people are getting a bit angry. There's about 500 babies crying. There's one poor woman, she's got a 2-year-old kid and she's 8 months pregnant. You couldn't write it.
We have checked the runway and it turns out we're not going anywhere.
Right. So then we're told we have to get off the plane and get back to the terminal. Great. So everyone jumps off. Passport, please. Hey? Passport? I've not been anywhere, pal. I've been on a runway. So after a bit of a bust-up, I got absolutely nowhere and I needed my passport. Anyway, I get back on the plane, unzips my bag, get the passport out, zip it back up again, and then off I went. Trundling down the stairs, get to the bottom, and before the guy can say passport this time, Mr. Ryanair pops up. Have you not got a bag? Yeah, I have got a bag. Well, you have to take it off with you, I'm afraid. What? Yeah, rules is rules. Okay, I'll board the plane for a 3rd time, shall I? So I went and got me bag. So I gave him a bit more lip. Probably not a good idea on the way back down. It's for your own safety. You want to stop talking for your own safety. Because Ryanair are so thoughtful, they don't cancel it straight away or push it back by several hours to give you a realistic chance of taking off. No. They push it back by half an hour at a time. So I mentioned the Wi-Fi earlier. Turns out the only place in Stockholm without Wi-Fi is Skavsta Airport. So now my old man's waiting for me at Stansted and I've got no way of letting him know. He waited for 5 hours. So we all waited for another 10 years or whatever it was. And then they say, right, time to board. This is about 11 o'clock at night, something like that. So we go back to the gate. We go through passport control. We queue up to board again. And then we get on the plane, where we sit for another hour. Captain Knobhead comes back on the tannoy.
These snowstorms come and go. They'll be gone within an hour. Then we'll take off.
An hour passes. Guess who's a fucking liar? Captain Jack. Oh, and by the way, during this whole time we're not offered a single thing. Food, drink, nothing. Can I get a water, please? Yeah, of course. I'll go and get you one. Oh, thank you very much. So, not only do you get a tiny little glass, it's also that horrible tap water that's just come out of a tank in a plane. Any danger of some bottled water? Yes, sir, that'd be €3, please. I think me asking for bottled water must have given him an idea, because next thing I hear it's bing bong.
Just so you're all aware, the shop is now open. You can buy snacks and drinks.
So another hour later, plane still ain't moved, and the snow certainly ain't stopped.
Your flight has now been cancelled. Please come back tomorrow.
So we have to go to the Ryanair desk to get a hotel and then get bussed to a crappy hotel where we're in bunk beds. And on the way there we get promised there's going to be food at the hotel, and we get to the hotel and there's no food, and by this point nobody's surprised by anything. Struggle is real. It's fucking freezing. Knee deep in snow. I'm stuck in Stockholm. Happy New Year. So we all managed to get tucked up in bed by the reasonable time of 2:30 a.m. And then we had to be back on the bus at 9 a.m. for a midday flight the next day. At this point I start thinking, we're in the middle of a social experiment here. They're trying to find out who's going to end up in a straitjacket first. It's 11:45. Guess what? Bing bong, you've been delayed again. Okay, it's 12:30. It's only half an hour. So after much questioning, I'm informed that our plane is at Arlanda Airport, the one I was at originally yesterday. I just didn't fucking know I was at the right airport. Hang on a minute. I boarded a plane 4 fucking times yesterday. Where's that plane gone? Turns out there's a 6:20 a.m. flight. And they stole our plane, and we need to steal their plane, and their plane had to go to Arlanda because it couldn't land here because it was snowing. Of course, these airports are both called Stockholm Airport, and they're so close together that one's having a snowstorm and the other one's having tropical weather. So I'm sat in the terminal. Loads of people just bothered to go straight through passport control. 12:20. Bing bong. Your flight will now take off at 3:30. You what? But it's not a guaranteed, it's a minimum. 3:30 minimum. And I've realised now I chose a bad day to quit smoking. As you can see, I've taken it back up again. So we're approaching the 24-hour delayed mark, and I've still not had a single bite or a single sip of a drink, except a shot of dirty plain water from Ryanair. So they delayed us again. I have to go through passport control. So I'm in the supermarket with a banana, because I don't know what anything else is, because I can't read it. 3:30 comes, and yeah, you guessed it, delayed again. 4:30, 5:30. Someone is taking a piss. Control, back out again, through passport control, back out again. I'm lucky, I've got an EU passport, so I don't get stamped every time I go through. One poor bastard's from Chile. He's got 8 stamps, and he's not even been anywhere. So there's another flight scheduled at 6 p.m. today. Okay. And the airport's filling up with the people from that flight. Yep, you guessed it. Ryanair wanted to put them on before us. Take off before us, I'm steaming through anyone wearing one of them stupid yellow ties. And if I got arrested, at least I might get deported and be able to actually get home. And Ryanair gave in and said, right, you can have one of our other planes. Can't believe it, but we're actually getting on the plane. I'm telling you.
Let's spoof it.
Oh my god, is that oxygen? Is that fresh air?
Boarding the plane for the 5th time. Been through passport control 75 times. I've never been so happy to see Ryanair in my life. But will we land? Will we land?
Will we take off?
That is the question. I don't know why we're smiling, because everyone's really pissed off. Lo and behold, my elation is premature. We're all settled, we're all happy. I'm squeezing. Oh yeah. Cushy, home time. No. All of a sudden, the Ryanair staff are walking up and down. One, two, two, one, two, two, one, two, two, one, two, two. What sort of tin pot operation is this, where you have to head count and you can't use a boarding pass? So we're on the plane now, and it turns out that there's somebody that was supposed to be flying today on our plane. So we're getting our boarding cards out, and there's like a million unhappy people right now. And yeah, it's not going well. First of all, how can somebody sneak onto your plane? Second of all, if there's space on the plane, we're going the same way, just go. Thirdly and finally, we've all been waiting over a day. If we're sat next to somebody different than we were sat next to yesterday, we'd be going, it's this one.
The ticket and figure out this situation. So please, I'm gonna ask you to take your tickets, keep them, and stay seated to ensure our as soon as possible departure.
They're now coming to check our boarding passes, and the lady over there is coming down at a really, really quick pace, as you can imagine, checking everyone's boarding passes to see who the stowaway is. So nobody knows who it is. I've got it. We've been here that fucking long, the pregnant bird's given birth. So, the reality is, it turns out the Ryanair staff can't count.
The latest update. So we figured out what the passengers shouldn't be here. Now everything is okay. We're gonna be leaving out soon. I'm about to close the main aircraft doors.
Nobody got off the plane. They're talking. Got rid of the person on the plane, even though we're all sat there and nobody fucking went anywhere. They just can't count.
My name is Cyrilo Willems, together in the flight deck with Jens Fransen. First of all, thank you for your patience, understanding with this problem of the weather yesterday and all this consternation. Now today, I just arrived myself from Brussels here to operate in Skavsta. In the cabin you have Eduardo, Camilo, Giovanni and Urea taking good care of you. Flight time towards Stansted is 1 hour and 55 minutes. The weather in Stansted is quite nice. Few clouds, calm winds, temperatures 3 degrees Celsius.
Is it just me, or does he sound a little bit like this guy?
Welcome to 1975, Austin Powers and Forza.
Anyway, let's hear what he's got to say.
Ground handling here in Skavsta is now figuring out the passengers. Apparently we have a few wrong passengers on board. Thereafter we will de-ice the aircraft and then we will be on our way.
You taking a mickey? We made it. So we landed in Stansted 25 and a half hours after we're supposed to. I've been here over a day. I'm What does the guy say on the tannoy?
Once again, we apologise for yesterday's weather. But hey, you'll manage.
Kim, what? I may have said see you next Tuesday at this point. Never again. Ryanair, f*** you.